on this. Zeke was the closest to the ball. You knew it was an interception. You just didn't even decide to even put forth the effort. So yes. Was there other guys? Yes. And have I seen this before? Of course. It's been plenty of time. I've seen Randy Moss do it. Just like, forget it. It's an interception. I'm not going to chase it down. I just recently saw Golden Tate do it for the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford throws an interception, and Golden Tate, kind of just took his little time, running. He was just jogging. Didn't even bother. It was on when they played the Cardinals. So it happens, and let's just not act like this is, oh my gosh, he has, broken some code or some moral, ethic or whatever. Guys get upset and they are in the moment and they just react. Should you react that way? No, you shouldn't. But when you're getting your booty tapped like that, like they were, what can you do? If you had put forth the effort, hey, they still would have got ran, on it. It's not an excuse, but it's just the truth. I'm going to say it again. It's not an excuse, but it's just the truth. You can't go out there showing, that you're frustrated or that you're less of a competitor, when everything is going wrong, but everything else, when everything is going right, you're like, oh, everything's all right. No, but let's just not blow it out of proportion, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm saying. Let's not blow it out of proportion. But it was hilarious. I laughed my butt off. I'm telling you, when I saw it, because it was just, he was done. He said, I'm done. Forget it. Lopan, you can play. Lopan, I think, got some PT, on that. He got blasted on one play, but for me, it was more hilarious than being upset, But Jason Garrett, he has the responsibility as being the coach, so he has to, kind of point that out. So, but let's get into a little UCF or UFC. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the college, but let's get into a little bit of the UFC. And we're not going to talk about the guys. We're going to talk about the ladies for a quick bit. And Chris Cyborg, if you don't know who that is, just look it up. Just look it up. Just go on YouTube and put in Chris Cyborg. But Chris Cyborg is saying that she wants nothing to do with Ronda Rousey. Now, I know you're like, whoa, Rousey got her scared like that? No, not even close. She is saying she doesn't want anything to do with Ronda Rousey because Ronda Rousey can't do anything for her at this point. And she is absolutely right in her statement. Ronda Rousey, at one point, she was considered the baddest woman on the planet. And everyone, people have said this, and Mike Tyson has said this and made it probably famous. Everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. And that's what happened to Ronda Rousey. She got hit in the mouth, but also she got exposed, for her weaknesses. So it's no different than what she, was doing when she was rocking girls, through, coming up to her popularity. Is that she was exposing their weakness. She was using her strength and she was taking over the fight. Holly Holmes exposed her. And let's not forget that does something to your psyche, because she kicked the mess out of her. It was like getting kicked by a mule, and Ronda was in trouble. And after that, and we've seen it, it's not just Ronda. It's any other guy. Any other fighter, I should say. We've seen it with Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell was knocking folks out left and right, but he had that one hit, and then it changes you. It changes you to a certain degree. Roy Jones Jr., he lost to Antonio Tarver. That one knockout, it just started changing. Then Roy started just getting knocked out by everybody. Not everybody, but, not the same, Roy we saw. And this is what Ronda Rousey is right now. And also, this is not going to be a blockbuster event. That is what I'm getting at. Is that if you say Chris Cyborg, because Chris Cyborg got some heavy hands. She knocked people out. She smothers you and she comes straight at you. And it's like, what are you going to do? You got a problem when you get in there. And that is just not the fight I think Ronda Rousey should take if she wants to come back. It's because right now her trainer is saying that she's 50-50 right now. And you cannot even be 90-10 in UFC. You got to be all the way 100. So when you say 50-50, she's completely out. I'm taking the 50% of her, being out. Because that affects your training. Do you want to come? Do you want to train? Do you want to get in the ring? Do you want to do, the press circuit? Do you want to have to answer all the questions, previously before from the other two fights, where you just basically got handled? Holly Holmes and Amanda Nunes took her apart, and they took her apart quick. So Chris Cyborg is just saying, look, I don't want to have anything to do with that. She wants to fight someone else, which makes sense because it would be the other way around. If Chris wasn't in a certain, atmosphere or where Ronda was, Ronda wouldn't be trying to fill her out as well. So, but if you haven't seen Chris Cyborg fight, you need to go look it up. She dominates people. And she doesn't play around. She gets in there and her whole sole purpose is to get you out of there quick. And that's not a good look. Not a good look for Ronda. Not a good look. If Ronda wants to come back, I just think, she'll take some fight. And I don't want to say take some fights that, she's going to take a dive the fighter's going to take a dive or nothing like that because nobody's going to do that. But it's just like you gotta work your way back up. You got to work your way back up, just like, when she originally started, So, shouts out to Raider Kev, who's in the building. Raider Kev, Raiders are looking pretty good there. Pretty good. Appreciate you for jumping in on the show, sir. Appreciate the love that you are giving us tonight. We were talking about UFC. I almost said UCF again, but UFC fighting about this whole Chris Cyborg, Ronda Rousey, potential fight. Now, and to me, I don't have an answer for who Chris Cyborg should fight. There's a lot of females and a lot of ladies that do not want to get in the ring with her at all. At all. They don't want no parts of her. So she may be out there for a second, unless someone just, is starving for some money and they got some bills that they got to pay. And they just say, you know what, I'll get beat up for, X amount of dollars, for whatever it is, So, hey, it is what it is. So, we'll get off that and we'll continue to roll on, through the show. You listen to the Wait a Minute show with your man, Jelani JB Bodie and my co-host, Lopan. And Kevin Durant. And ladies and gentlemen, we're waiting on the Mad Barber to call us to do this review of the Triple G Canelo fight. But Kevin Durant is in the news, and I still don't. I still just can't believe it. Normally I don't. I'm just like whatever. Such is life. This is just what happens. But Kevin Durant is in the news because he has been on Twitter, and come to find out, in a nutshell, Kevin Durant has multiple Instagram pages or Twitter page. He has multiple Twitter pages. So Twitter accounts. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this whole social media thing. So he got multiple Twitter accounts. And so he was on Twitter talking with someone, and they were asking, about him leaving, OKC and all this stuff. And he has an account up, which he thinks is one of his other ones. And he starts to tweet, and I call it the Kanye West tweet. Remember Kanye said in his song, I'm on TV acting like it's just me and you. You remember that song. La, 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 la. Yeah, I can't sing. But you know what I'm talking about. He talking about on Twitter as if it's just him and one other person. So this person said, whoa, he out there, dissing, his former team. He dissing, the coach and all this stuff, saying, it was just him and Russ. and he wanted to go to a better situation and all this stuff. So all this love he had been showing him. So he gets behind the scenes and he says these tweets. And when I saw the tweets, I'm like, yo, no one can be that silly. No one can be that just playing out unresponsible to be that popular, to be who you are, and then you talking reckless like that on a social media site. So I'm like, no, I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. I don't believe it at all. So then it comes out, and TMZ has turned into, I mean, at first when you heard TMZ reported something, you'd be like, I don't know if I can trust that. Now it's just like everyone be saying, according to TMZ, they have taken over, but TMZ, put it out there, and now Kevin Durant has came out and said, yep, it was me. Now, normally I would give, something like that a Big L award, and I would just go in, on Kevin Durant, but I don't think this one deserves a Big L award. I think this is something that is serious. I think it needs to be discussed. And if you believe that, then you don't know me. Yes, I'm giving him the Big L award. We're giving it to him early.
See? Another loser.
Indeed as well. Lopan, you on basically, you have a bullhorn standing in the middle of a crowd and everybody knows you, and you're going to diss your former teammates after all the stuff that you've been saying before? Come on, KD, man. Really? If that's the way you felt, I mean, you could have even said that and just said, look, the way the situation was, this was a better situation. This is, what I needed to do, and leave it at that. But no, it's been a year. You're a champion and you still out there talking. Move on, bruh. Move on. You done got your ring. You proved everybody wrong. You balled out or whatever. No one's going to be talking about this, and you're still talking about the past. Move on is what I'm getting at. Let it go. Now, it seems like you're bitter, or you're a little salty or whatever. Look, you won. You won. At the end of the day, you won. No one's going to be talking about that you played with, Clay, Steph, and all that stuff like they talked about last year. Time will heal all wounds, my friend. But I had to give that early. So you, sir, once again, give it to him, KD, for the Big L award.
See? Another loser.
Indeed as well. Back in the chat room, Ms. Mocha Bella is saying, Jelani, why is it your voice sound deeper as usual? Well, I lost my voice this past weekend, Mocha, so I am getting it back. So I'm pretty sure that's why my voice sounds a little bit deeper than it normally does. But maybe, show you right. Yeah, show you right. That's the one advantage I have when that happens. But Sluggo said KD should have blamed it on somebody hacking his Twitter account. Sluggo, I seriously thought he was going to do that, but the gig was up, man. He over there referring to himself in third person. And it was just people were going to what I think KD tried to just get ahead of it, just take the brunt of it and be done with it, because they were not going to just let that go, especially, with the whole point of it's an account that he uses for different folks. He got two different accounts. That made sense, but I just really thought it didn't make sense because I didn't think he would be that silly to go out there and start talking about something he shouldn't have been talking about. I mean, that's just like going on Facebook and posting about when you committed a crime and you got the weapon in your hand about when you robbed something. It has been done, America, and they went to jail for it. So that's what I'm getting at. Those people, no one knew. This guy, kind of a little popular. Just a little bit. Some folks know him, but it baffles me. It baffles me. They're going to give KD the business. on this. This is along the likes of when they were talking about